Hey, how's it going? I'm Ryan Hefner, and this is the All Play Podcast. So, I didn't get a chance to record an episode last week, but I was able to do a jam session with Brian Castle. And one of the things that we kind of, I guess, we're focusing on during that episode is really just like what are our plans for 2025? What are we committing to? What do we want to see, in the next 3 months, 6 months, at the end of the year? And I mean, really, it kind of was a good forcing function to just have that kind of, that conversation. You're jumping between, should I do this? Should I do that? And even on that episode, I realized that one of the things that I was, I guess, like unsure about was just what exactly to put my effort towards. And actually, after a update from yesterday, where I pushed a big update for starter packs, I kind of was downplaying, or at least like not committing to starter packs, and actually was looking at moving on to more like focusing on opengraphs.com. But I had a change of heart. I started thinking about where starter packs was and where the original vision was for it. And so I wanted to give a little update about the updates that went out yesterday, what I'm thinking about for that, what I'm still thinking about for Open Graphs, and we'll go from there. So yesterday I pushed out a big update for starter packs. So starter packs is at starterpacks.net. Originally when I launched it back in, I guess it was like late October, early November, it was there was a gap in Bluesky in general. So Bluesky started to obviously have a big ramp up period. They were adding millions of people per day, and the one of their big, I guess, like catalyst or reasons why so many people were coming in and so many people were kind of like adopting the platform was through these starter packs. And so starter packs is basically a grouping of people that when you find a starter pack, you can click follow all on Bluesky and you can follow all those people in those starter packs. But it's also just kind of a great way to kind of curate and share people without having to, send individual profiles or have a big like Bluesky post of just a bunch of profiles. You can kind of aggregate those into these starter packs, which are basically just lists, and share those from there. So starter packs were kind of very popular. And I'd say that their popularity has kind of waned, and I'll get onto some of the reasons why I'm thinking that, and hopefully how I can maybe kind of retain their value or reposition them to be as valuable as they were in the beginning. But essentially, Bluesky had a big uptake. They had these starter packs. There was no way to find a starter pack on the Bluesky app without actually drilling into individual profiles and then going to a starter packs tab and then seeing those. So it was either shared in your feed or you had to do some digging to find them. So I felt like that was a little bit of a gap, and that's where starter packs came in. Essentially, I got an app up and running pretty quick. I did a quick spike on doing the Bluesky OAuth because I was like, oh, if I'm going to do this, I want to make sure I have like the ability to OAuth someone onto the platform. So I kind of did a general spike on that, but didn't end up using it for the initial version. I also set up a Firehose consumer. So I wanted to make it a really easy way for me to be able to kind of like capture these starter packs when they're either being created or updated, and basically try to create the, hopefully all encompassing. I'm sure I've missed a few here and there, and I have some ideas on how I can kind of continue to kind of expand the catalog to make sure that it's as almost all encompassing of all the starter packs that are currently on Bluesky. So I set up the Firehose. I had those feeding in. So I'm basically creating my own catalog of all the starter packs that are on Bluesky. And then I launched the initial version of the app, which really was like pretty straightforward. Originally, it was a search field and the starter packs that I had captured, and that's coming from a Postgres database, and I'm just doing full text search on that right now. And then I ended up, I felt like it was a relatively quick win to also be able to, while you're searching starter packs, you can also search profiles. And through the site, it offered a great way to be able to kind of explore the whole graph of people that are within Bluesky. You can come from a profile and then explore the people that they're following and who follow them. And then also, if they happen to have any starter packs, you can drill into those. And so that was great. And traffic was awesome. I mean, the rate at which Google had both indexed and the amount of just search, like organic traffic from like organic keywords and search from Google was amazing. Actually, let me see if I can go in and see what the peak was, and then also let you know where it ended up netting out. But let me see. So the peak at one point, let me see if I can do days. Ay. So let me go back to the beginning or the end of October through to today. Let me see where we're at. So the most people who visited the site was, I guess the peak was about 5,000 on December 1st with a total of 12,000 page views. But, granted, I launched this site early November. It wasn't really getting anything. Then all of a sudden, Google must have got a hold of it. It quickly ramped up to that 5,000. And then it kind of sustained anywhere from like the high threes. And then it kind of took a little dip around December 16th for whatever reason, started to kind of do a little dip there. I guess I should probably show this graph at some point. So maybe I'll include a little image or something in the show notes so that way people can kind of see what's going on here. And then it sustained that 2,500 to 3,000 people per day until about January 4th. And then from there, it's just a steep decline. It bumps back up on January 7th and January 8th, back up to like about 2,000 people. And then it just took a dive January 11th. And then since then, it's anywhere from like 2.5 to 3.5, or 250 to maybe like almost maybe 300 or so people per day. So, back in December, I really should have been making a go at getting, some of these new features out. I kind of feel like I missed my window, and I am a little bit regretting it. And that's actually why I think I was kind of backpedaling when I was talking to Brian last week as far as which project to kind of lean into. But since then, I had a change of heart. I've kind of always loved an underdog story. And so when I saw that traffic dip down and I thought about where Starter Packs was and where I wanted to take it, the amount of effort and the distance of that, that chasm or the divide didn't seem too crazy, especially compared to what I know that I'm already going to want to do with Open Graphs. And that's kind of an interesting story because I feel like the stuff that I want to do with Open Graphs is going to feed into what I want to do with starter packs. And it's kind of this great cyclical cycle of, basically efforts supporting other efforts and hopefully all tides raising all ships. So let me go into a quick update. I can't believe I'm already at 9 minutes. I'm going to do a quick update of what went out yesterday on starter packs and why I decided to lean into that and so forth. So I said that I had done that quick spike on the OAuth. Well, OAuth went out live yesterday on starter packs. So now you can log in with your Bluesky account. And now as you're browsing the profiles and starter packs on starterpacks.net, you can follow people. Right now it's only on profiles. I will be adding a follow all to the starter packs page. So that went out. Just a lot of little tweaks and stuff. When I first did the website, I guess I was kind of in a dark mode mood, so I kind of locked in my theme to dark mode and just went with that. I've opened that up. I basically kind of redesigned and retweaked everything, and then now the site supports both like light and dark modes or whatever your system has it set to. Granted, not a big change, but just kind of, getting a little bit more to a real kind of product or app feel. So that went out yesterday. The landing page actually is now featuring some starter packs, and I think that's looking good. I did some optimizations as far as loading of followers and following and all this other stuff. But I'd say the biggest things was the OAuth and just the general, some kind of design tweaks. And actually, while trying to figure out the homepage, it started to make me think about what makes more sense as far as how I can further evolve or expand the site. And I think categories is going to be one of the things I'll probably end up adding soon. So the ability to basically browse categories and see both profiles and starter packs that fall within those categories, I think that could be interesting. I think it's a little bit more, I guess right now the site solely relies on search. And so we have two searches going on. We have the starter pack search, which is basically my search that is kind of a full text Postgres search. And then we have the profile search, which is provided from Bluesky. Actually, both of them aren't that great right now. So I'd love to figure out a way to kind of potentially unify those. At the same time, I don't want to have all, I think they're up to like 28 or who knows, 29 million people in my database right now and trying to do a search across that. But I think there might be a smart way of basically trying to make those better, as well as I definitely know I want the starter pack search to be much better. And so that is some future stuff that I plan on optimizing. I'm going along. I don't know, those are the biggest changes. I have more plans. I definitely am writing the script over this weekend that will start to pull in and show starter packs that people are in addition to the ones that they've created on their profiles. Now that I think I might explore making a premium feature just because I think it further expands your profile, further expands discovery. Hopefully that'll lead to more followers for the people who have these starter packs displayed on their profiles. And that's another thing I want to get to is since the traffic has dipped so low, and not to say it's terrible. I mean, the site's only a couple months old and it's getting, 200 to 300 people per day. I'd love to get that back up into the thousands range again. And so I'm going to be exploring some tricks on how I can do that. The first thing I did was on the starter packs page, just the metadata, the like title and description. I tried to flesh that out with both like the description of the starter pack itself, as well as a little information about the person who created it. Hopefully we'll see. I'll see how that goes and I'll let you know if that's boosting traffic at all. But that's going to be one of those slow kind of grindy game things and we'll see where it goes. The other thing I'm going to start doing is really just start talking about it more. I haven't really shared it that much. I mean, I've shared it mostly on Bluesky just because obviously that's where it's relevant. I haven't really shared it on like LinkedIn. I've done a few things over on Twitter. I actually am kind of keeping my Twitter account just in the meantime because I want to use it as a way to pull people over from Twitter and get them on the Bluesky. So I've been thinking about maybe some sort of challenge there. And I think starter packs will play a role in that. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I am definitely way over it. It's 14 minutes. So hopefully this is interesting. I'm leaning into starter packs. I'm definitely not forgetting about open graphs. I think the stuff that I'm going to be working on there will be used and consumed by starter packs. So I'm looking forward to getting working on that shortly. And so I am committing to basically having both starter packs up with hopefully a subscription before the end of the month. And then, like I said to Brian on our Jam Sessions episode, which I'll also link to in the show notes, getting an initial version of Open Graphs out in March, and who knows, maybe earlier. I'd love to get some people testing it. I'm going to be using it on all my sites where I'm currently using my old app that I wrote, which is called Link Cards. Open Graphs is going to be a little bit more broader of a solution, but basically I'm going to start out by having it just do the same thing that link cards is doing. And so we'll see how it goes. So hopefully this is interesting. Definitely let me know what is interesting, or, if you want to ask more questions about why starter packs versus leaning into something else, or what my plans are for trying to further increase the traffic to starter packs and try to get it back up into that 1,000 people per day. That's going to be my goal. So I'm going to try to share as much as I can as far as the things that are working and not working on that front, and we'll see how it goes. So I went way over. I'm Ryan Hefner. This is the All Play Podcast. Follow me on Bluesky at ryanhefner.com. Obviously, check out my website at ryanhefner.com. You can follow the podcast on Bluesky at allplay.fm, and obviously the website's allplay.fm. Hopefully this is interesting. Follow along. Check out starter packs. Log in. Let me know if you have run into issues logging in or following people via the site. That's at starterpacks.net, and I'll be catching up with you again soon. All right. Have a great one. Later.